Say hi, guys. Making huge progress. Grant has done soil samples.
Yep.
Where did they go?
They're over on the boards on the other side.
Oh, okay, cool. So we'll check those out later and see how good our soil is for Cob and how much sand we'll be needing to add, if any. And look at that sunset. That's gorgeous. All right, I'll check in with y'all later. Bye-bye. So how do you know if your soil is good for Cob? Cob, as you may already know, is composed of clay, sand, and straw. So when you're using your own soil, you need to know what proportions of your soil are clay and sand. So a good way to look and see if your soil is more clayey than sandy, a good way to test it is to grab a handful of soil, make a ball, get it wet, and then knead it. Now, this ball, when you compress it in your hand, form a little pancake. And then you do what's called the palm test. So if this soil has a lot of clay in it, this soil should start to get really sticky and stick to your hand. And you can compress that pancake of clay while holding your hand upside down and cupping your palm, touching your meaty part of your palm with your fingers over and over again. You could probably do this 5 or 6 times before the clay pancake falls, if it's very clayey. If it has more sand, it'll fall more quickly and not stick as much. You could also try rolling it up into a little worm and trying to wrap it around your finger. If it takes a while for it to break and crumble, then it's a good chance your soil may also contain a lot of clay. So what we did to test our cob is we made what's called Cob Cookies. Our friend Grant put together 4 samples of our soil and then mixed sand in with these samples. One cookie is 100% clay soil, no sand. The second is 2 parts clay, 1 part sand. The third is 1 part clay, 1 part sand. And the fourth is 1 part clay, 2 parts sand.
So again, we have 4 cookies of the same size, one that's just our clay soil. This one is 2 parts clay soil and 1 part builder sand. This one is 1 part builder sand and 1 part clay soil. And this over here is 2 parts sand, 1 part clay soil. So what we want to do is, first of all, let them dry. So they're already dried. They've been drying for 2 weeks. They're dry on the both sides. And what we want to do is observe cracking. What kind of cracking? So just one of the first observations is that none of these are split. They all held together.
Yep.
Sometimes when you don't have a good mix, you already discard it, or at this point you already have discarded it because it's already cracked and it doesn't hold together. They don't even look like micro cracks. They look more just like maybe it wasn't worked. I asked Grant to make sure he worked the material in well, like get a really good mix. And I think these that kind of look like more like it wasn't worked well. So the next step would be to break them and see which one holds together best.
Okay.
Who wants to break them?
Melanie, you want to crack a cookie? You want to break a cookie?
Sure.
Okay.
Come on over.
Yep. Because I mean, I've done this so many times. I want one of you to do it so you could feel. So it looks like you have you have ready mix. You save yourself some sand.
That's awesome. No need to buy sand at Home Depot.
Yeah.
Cart it around in the back of the truck.
Break it, but don't try to break a piece off. Try to break it in half.
Break it in half.
Yeah.
Okay.
To see how hard it is. Okay. Okay. So that's 2 parts sand. That was fairly easy. Did you you felt like a little bit of resistance or
Yeah.
just cook?
Just like a usual cookie,
Okay.
or a little more than that.
Okay. Okay, there was
Ooh.
more resistance.
Oh, I had to like put more force. This I went very slow.
Okay.
This I did like almost double the.
The force.
Force, yeah.
Okay, okay.
So let's see.
All right. So let's see this one. Wow.
Mhm.
So I had to use like more.
More leverage.
Yeah.
So far that's the winner from these 3
Yeah.
combinations of clay soil.
So that is 2 parts clay, 1 part sand.
This is a good one.
Okay.
And
And finally, the final cookie,
just
all clay. Wow!
Oh wow!
Oh!
Okay.
So how hard was that?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Like I can feel like I had to like really get into it. Oh my God. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Wow.
Okay.
I
Yeah.
would consider you don't have to add any sand.
Wow.
You don't
That's
have to add any
awesome. We've
sand.
got ready mix.
And you don't have like any cracking really. Like if you look in the inside,
Mm-hmm.
there's no internal cracks
Yeah.
because all you have to do is add straw. Man, that's so cool. That is so cool. Like I know sand isn't as expensive. Yeah,
You can't do it.
Now try breaking like the halves. Wow, Nani.
Ah, there you go.
Wow.
That took a lot.
Like there's a grass holding it together.
Yeah.
That was like it had to snap.
Imagine it
Already
has
has-
straw.
yep.
Imagine it has straw.
Straw.
Wow.
Oh, that's so
That-
awesome. That's
yeah.
gonna make our life so much easier.
Yeah. Okay.
That was easier.
That was easier.
Yep.
Yeah, that I couldn't do that way. I had to like go with my thumbs.
Now do it in reverse. So you did that one. Now that one.
This I can probably not do.
Oh,
Yep.
nothing.
Okay.
Okay. And the 2 part sand, 1 part clay.
Okay.
It was like a cookie, like a
Okay.
peanut butter cookie.
Oh,
Yeah.
you should send this to Grant if you have.
I will. Hi, Grant.
Yeah. Thanks, Grant.
Thank
for
you.
these.
Yeah, thanks for making these.
Mhm.
Yes.
I consider you have ready mix.
There we go.
So imagine if you had straw and then you had all that tensile strength.
Mhm.
That was tensile strength without really having any fiber in it.
Yeah, just roots.
Just
Just a tiny bit of root.
roots.
1 root. Yeah.
So that makes the cob even easier because you don't have to mix sand in. Mixing sand in physically is a lot of work.
Mhm.
A lot of work.
Yeah.
So just add straw
Sweet.
accordingly. How much straw to add?
Just add straw.
Just
We've got ready mix.
yeah. At least from that, and then you're gonna expand your pond.
Yep. Exactly.
And a little extra plus that you might not consider, like that soil is moist, and I know water is not an issue here, but you're already working. It's heavier because it's wet, but then you don't have to use it as much water. So like for us, it was a blessing that when we dug out our for our foundation,
Mm-hmm.
we had just this piles and piles of piles, and it rained so much, and on the top it dried, but underneath it kept moist. So that meant because we had at first we had to, with my little truck,
Mm-hmm.
bring water up to the site, 200 liters at a time.
Oh, wow.
So it made like it was such a blessing that it rained and it kept the moisture.
That's
You
great.
have great clay.
Awesome.
Did we ever do the? Oh no, I did the palm test with Grant, and he got like 11, 12, 13, or 12, 13, and 14.
Okay. 14 of
Yeah.
these.
Yeah. Yep.
This is the palm test, everybody. You put the clay on your hand and then just do this type of motion
Mhm.
and count how many times you do this until it falls off.
Yeah,
So he got 14 times on.
like I think
This
he
one?
got like some number like 12, 13, 14 or 11, 12, 13. I think it was like 12, 13, 14. So you just average out a 13.
Okay.
And like below 5 is probably not enough clay.
Mm-hmm.
5 to 10 is like enough clay.
Okay.
Could be bready mix.
Uh-huh.
And above 10, you have enough clay to build,
Mhm.
but you may have to add sand.
Gotcha.
But that's like just as like a kind of like a recommendation. But then doing this, this is what really gives you more of an idea. This is amazing that none of these crack. That means this is really high quality clay. Like Kat was saying, like one of the few things where she lives, Hughes Springs, that they export is clay because the clay is so good.
This site here was a clay quarry.
A clay quarry.
Yep. Before my parents bought it. Before the people before them bought it, I think.
You can even see the sand particles in there. So remember, the more mineral content, it's rocks.
Yeah.
So you're building with tiny rocks. That guarantees you have a long-standing house like this stem wall that's made of solid rock, just leaning, giant rocks of all sorts and sizes stacked and leaning on each other.
Yep.
This will outlast any wood roof or anything. And you don't have to do any maintenance other than you just keep the pointing every once in a while. And the way they're leaning on each other, with time and slight earthquakes, they'll just get tighter. They're leaning into each other.
That's awesome.
Yep. And if we didn't do the best job of packing in those fines and that 57 and the ballast, railroad ballast, time and the little movements of the earth will make them settle. Yep.
Yeah. That's
Great.
cool. This house is gonna last for millennia.
Yep. I think by then concrete will have dissolved. Yeah.